Good evening. It's Saturday, April 14th, and the San Jose Sharks are up 2-0. 2-0 over the Anaheim Ducks here in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. This is Teal Town After Dark. Follow us after every Sharks game. Watch us. Follow us. Subscribe if you're new to the show. If you have a friend who is, loves the Sharks and has never watched the show, tell them to subscribe. Tweet us at TealTownUSA and use the hashtag TealTownUSA. We want to read your tweets on the show this evening. And of course, those of you talking to us in the Google chat, keep that up. We see a lot of viewers here this evening, and we want that chatter. We'll talk to you throughout the show over this big win over the Anaheim Ducks. I almost said the Vancouver Canucks. I have not had any wine this evening, folks.
Did somebody say Vancouver?
Yeah.
No one said Vancouver.
But anyway, on the panel this evening is Puck Guy 14, Eric Kura. Eric, how are you this evening?
Oh, I am fantastic.
Is that a beard?
Look at this. This is 7-day growth, guys. The last time I shaved was Saturday before the game against the Minnesota Wild. So
all right.
Not impressed, honestly.
Well, I'm actually impressed. The upper lip is actually coming in somewhat nicely. So it's amazing.
That's what she said. Oh.
Carry on, Kevin.
Yes, also on the panel.
That was a fair joke.
From his temporary studio, the man who I know can grow a beard, probably the only one on the panel this evening who can actually grow a real beard, is Chris JWS. Chris, thanks for joining us.
Well, you see, I'm very important. I have many leather-bound books, and my apartment smells of rich mahogany, at least my temporary apartment here. Thank you very much to one of my former roommates for facilitating me while I'm in San Jose. He's over there raising his hand. You obviously can't see him. It's cool. Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be back in San Jose for a few days.
I'm really impressed that you brought the microphone with you too. That's dedication.
Right? Yeah, you got to do it right. Do it right or go home.
That's the kind of dedication we have here at Teal Town USA, folks. And we also have Alex Martinet. Alex, from your looking legitimate studio, how are you, Al?
Nice.
I can't tell if that's a compliment or not.
It is. It looks awesome.
Yeah, Sharks won.
I'd remark.
Yeah, compared to the blank walls I had a half season, the white background.
Oh God,
I thought about going back to that just to see how things were. But no, great game overall. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's definitely talk about it. Oh yeah, and I'm Kevin Lacey 22. But moving on.
No one cares.
Yeah, no one cares.
It's too warm for him to wear a turtleneck, folks. So forgive
Dude,
me.
I'm roasting. Between the wine and this jersey, I am roasting right now.
Oh boy. Cheers to you and cheers to everyone. And we'll give cheers to the San Jose Barracuda in just a jiffy. We will talk about the Barracuda making sure they aren't the only, or making sure the Sharks aren't the only hockey team to make the playoffs this year. So we have a lot of talk about that onward tonight, but let's get at it. Let's group it and rip it and get talking about this game as the Sharks look to go up 2-0 and become the only team in the Stanley Cup playoffs to win both road games to begin this playoff year. Didn't start out that well. Jakub Silfverberg, who I thought was going to be one of those X factors for the Ducks, scores I got to say, a meh goal from Jones at 40 seconds in, got the crowd of Anaheim supporters up. There was a large Teal contingency at the Ponda tonight, as that made it 1-0. And Alex, I'll start with you on this goal. That wasn't the greatest start in the world, and I got scared for a little while there.
It wasn't the greatest start. It looked like it for a second it deflected off of Burns' stick, and then Jones kind of lost track of it. But the action was so far away from Jones that I figured he would have been able to recover. But the good news is that it happened so early in the game that it wasn't the reason why we won or lost. I thought the Sharks rebounded right away And I think they actually kind of woke up because of that.
I would think not only that, but Chris, as I turn to you, the physicality that the Ducks were showing early on also, I think, made a noticeable call, as well as along with what Alex said with the first goal coming so early.
One man's physicality is another man's thuggery, apparently. So I made the early morning drive from SoCal to NorCal today, and I almost took that 20-minute detour so I could go and flip off the Honda Center. Apparently, I didn't need to, though, because the Sharks had all the good luck they needed. But that goal looked like a weak goal to me. I was in a bar and the sound was off, so maybe it was tipped. I never saw any replay where they show that, but I was like, how did Jones not track that? I don't know why that went in.
Yeah, that was like, oh my God, no. Kevin, what did you take from her early on in the first, where it seemed like the Ducks had just everything going for them, and then the Sharks started waking up a little bit?
Yeah, that Jones goal. I was following the Barracuda game and the Sharks at the same time, and I saw that go in, and it was like, no, well, I guess it's going to be a radio only night the way this is starting off. But, I'm glad the Sharks stuck with it. I actually thought the Sharks' answer after the goal was tremendous. I mean, I thought they completely put the Ducks under siege the next 3-4 minutes. And so it was like, all right, good. I'm glad you're not laying down for this here. And obviously they got back into it, as you'll describe. But that first goal was pretty just, especially for the playoffs. I mean, I know ugly goals are scored in the playoffs, but not like that.
Yeah, no, that one's the ugliest of ugly, for sure. So wasn't the greatest thing in the world, but like you said, the Sharks started coming back. They started getting the physicality out a little bit, and it definitely got things going for them. And then, of course, the Ducks taking it, I would say, a little bit of a questionable call that led to the Sharks' first power play. The Ducks were throwing their physicalness out there, and it just seemed like it
their
was
physicalness or their elbows.
I'm sure we'll go with the elbows. I mean, they were laying it out there, and it eventually cost them as the Ducks take a bad penalty there. As where is it? Brandon wait, is that the right one? Brandon Montour, yes, hooking against Melker Karlsson at 13:37. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I thought that was earlier in the game. No, I'm sorry.
NHL.com not updating fast enough.
Did the problems with the AHL website tonight leak over to the NHL site?
It's problems with my eyes, actually, because I was trying to set up the Logan Couture power play goal, but before then, Marcus Sorenson takes the wild bounce off of Brendan Dillon's shot and had the net wide open to tie this game up at 9:41 from Karlsson and Brendan Dillon. So, guys, what did you think of that goal? That kind of reminded me of the goal that we saw last night in the Vegas-LA game from Alex Tuck a little bit. Chris, what did you think of Sorenson tying this one up?
I mean, there's definitely some chance involved in that, but overall, it kind of fit with the trend. The Sharks, after that first goal, they outplayed the Ducks throughout, and it wasn't surprising. The way you get good luck in part is you create more opportunities, and eventually it'll break your way, and it broke their way pretty early there.
Lacey, what did you take as as a guy that you're somewhat familiar with Marcus tied this one up?
Yeah, on the last show that we had after game one, we talked about Marcus Sorenson being the surprise entry into the lineup over Jannik Hansen and Joel Ward, and especially Ward, just because he's the veteran and that's all DeBoer knows. But Sorenson obviously has gained the trust. He had that big playoff goal last year, another big playoff goal this year. And the only thing I thought was kind of interesting was I don't know if you guys noticed, it seemed like the boards were super lively tonight. Like, I don't remember the boards ever being so lively in Anaheim. ever. But tonight they were, and the Sharks were able to capitalize on that first goal. So, you know, Sorenson, if he wants to stick in the lineup, he's going to have to score those goals like that. And playoff heroes are never predictable. And Marcus Sorenson, you know, for at least tonight, that's a start.
Yeah, and that's how you stay in the lineup. Well, then again, I mean, last time Marcus Sorenson scored a goal, he was scratched the next game. So, yeah, you know.
Let's not even go there.
It was just one of those weird coinkydinks. Alex, I'll come to you as we talk about how the Ducks' discipline played a factor again tonight as Logan Couture scores on the power play, but Karlsson gets tripped up by Brandon Montour, a hook, or I'm sorry, it was a hook, my bad, at 13:37 that led to a Logan Couture power play goal. Nice little move there to get things going as Couture gets his first of the postseason.
Yeah, this was all kind of set up by LeBanc with a nice pass that helped give Couture that extra advantage. And the goal was kind of the same as Patrick Evander Kane's from yesterday's, or from game one, where he went from left to right and Gibson just kind of bit it. I don't know if that's a scouting thing that the Sharks saw and they're just implementing that in the playoffs, but it seems like there's initiative to move Gibson around in the net if they have a chance to do it.
Gotcha. Kevin, what did you think of the of that go-ahead goal by Logan Couture? I got a little ahead of myself there with the power play goal.
Oh man, that was just a tremendous move by Logan to deke to the backhand. Not the first or not the only backhand we'll discuss. But man, that was such a nice goal. And John Gibson, that's not a play Gibson makes often. I mean, for him to dive out like that, he settled in. I thought Gibson actually played very, very well tonight for the Ducks. But on that goal, he was not poised at all. And Couture completely exploited that, deking right around him. And it was a heck of a move. And I'm glad the Sharks scored. So.
Gotcha. Chris, what did you take from your overall thoughts of this first period? Started bad, but it escalated quickly and finished pretty nicely for the Sharks.
Boy, that sure escalated quickly. Like I need some scotch or something here. But you're right. Lacey, literally, like, are you reading off my non-existent script? Apparently, you just taken my lines there, just saying like, oh yeah, it was a great backhand, but there was a better backhand later. Screw you. My roommate's there, but oh shit, may I actually need to have some whiskey. So, nice. Yeah, my former roommate's the greatest. Sucks I don't still live with him. But anyway, shit, what was I saying? But bad start to that period, but man, it picked up because I mean the Sharks were the better team throughout, and that was true in the first period too. Bad break to start it, but it kept going and it worked.
Alex, your take from the first?
I'll just follow what Lacey said. I thought Gibson had a great game tonight. I thought he also had a decent game one, but he just didn't have the conditioning for the game one. I think it was more or less the coach from the Ducks wanted to get him some playing time. I don't know why that wasn't during the regular season, but I thought he made some decent saves in game one. And game two, he showed up, especially in the third to second periods. And I think he's going to have another great season next year.
Yeah.
Yes, preferably next year we'll have the great year.
Is that why game 4 is going to be on the Golf Channel?
Oh.
Are we going to have to like whisper quietly when we're talking about that one? Pavelski sets up.
A douchebag.
He passes it across the crease. Nice pass.
You know what's gonna be funny is the Sharks.
We need Rocket to narrate this. That's what we need. Like the sexy voice of the whisper. Rocket can pull that off.
Actually, Rockets, yeah, for sure. Agreed.
That's true. Second period now. Sharks get going again, and Tomas Hertl, and to hopefully not have to pay copyright infringement fees to Mr. Brett Hennigan. Tomas Hertl, dangleitis. What a beauty. Just an unbelievable goal there as he gets past the Ducks defense, a rocket backhander of sorts, to make it 2-1. Boys, wow, that was a pretty goal and probably one of the prettiest goals we may ever see in a Sharks uniform. I think the only one that could come close to it might be Chichu between the legs several years back. Chris, what did you think of Hertl's dangleitis?
I mean, that was a sweet little backhander. That was about as far to the outside as you can go. And obviously the goaltender's been like, I don't think he can place it in that tiny little spot there right between, there is a little bit open there, but it's like it's a good bet. It's probably a good bet most of the time, that level of precision, but it was a perfectly placed backhander right to the corner of the net. Oh, that was gorgeous. And by the way, I have whiskey now, so nice. I guess I'm good. Yeah. So I figure it is Saturday night. So yeah, good time for whiskey.
I have to go get more wine.
Indeed.
Oh boy, that might escalate quickly. So Alex, are you the only one besides me that's only drinking water tonight? But
I'm drinking coffee.
Oh, nice. See, Alex
coffee at 11 p.m. I'm sorry. This is where I'm not in college anymore. I can't do it past like 5 o'clock.
I have like 4 things due at tomorrow, so I have
Oh, really? I was gonna say I thought Alex was ready to go just in case it went into overtime.
No.
But briefly, what did you think of Hertl's dangles?
The first time I watched it, I didn't see him going behind his legs to do that shot, and it was more surprising it actually went in. I was actually kind of surprised that after the 3-1 lead, the Sharks kind of gave up. It seems like they didn't have the momentum in the second period, and the Ducks kind of came back a little bit. I kind of made me worried for a split second heading into the third period, just because I figured, yeah, sure, I'm not going to buy any. But I figured that, I don't know about you guys, but once it got 3-2, I got really worried because I figured that played into the Anaheim Ducks play style. They could slow down the puck. They didn't have to rush it. But of course, the Ducks are the Ducks, and they took stupid penalties.
Yeah, Kevin, let's talk about that. What did you think of that penalty on Paul Martin? I thought it was, and what did you think of him overall tonight? I thought his speed showed tonight. Lack thereof, I should say.
Well, first off, I wanted to just say I thought Hertl's goal was dreamy, and then like as I was thinking that, I thought, oh, that's a totally not intended pun. This is dream, but I mean that goal was dreamy. Oh, what a shot! Honestly, I didn't really notice Paul Martin tonight, and I'm going to attribute that to me only paying half attention to the game while paying half attention to 2 other games.
And your wine.
But yeah. But yeah, I mean, so your guess is, I'll just go with whatever you guys say on the Martin.
Gotcha. Thing. Yeah, he wasn't looking the greatest in the world, and he looked like he got beat a couple of times, but nothing costly except for the power play goal from Hampus Lindholm. Yeah, easy for me to talk. His first of the playoffs at 7:51. That's a power play goal from Getzlaf and Kessler. Getzlaf took a shot that ran up his stick and hit him in the mouth. I think he might have missed a shift, and he came back into it. Yeah.
Can I ask you something about Martin, actually, since you brought it up? What have you guys thought of Brent Burns since Martin has come back in the lineup? Have you noticed an increase in defensive responsibility with Burns?
I'm going to go with no. He's honestly been about the same.
Okay.
Like, honestly, I think the thing with Paul Martin is I hope Peter DeBoer gets over his preference for Paul Martin if we go to the next round of the playoffs, because you can get away with Paul Martin against the Ducks.
Yeah.
I mean, the Ducks aren't a speed team. The Ducks aren't we'll run it up and down. Neither are the Kings or Vegas necessarily, but I would rather not chance it. He can be safe against the Ducks. The Ducks like to be thugs. You know, they're all about that thug life down in Anaheim.
Yeah. That's a perfect call, Chris, actually, because, I mean, look at Roman Polak 2 years ago. He was pretty good the first 2 rounds. The Blues round, and then the Penguins round. Oh,
yeah, that was horrible.
I mean, that's kind of the trend. I see Paul Martin going too, so that's why I figured I'd ask you, like, is he still worth putting in?
It also has to do with how well you can slow down the neutral zone, because during my long drive up today, among the many things I listened to was a couple of Ducks podcasts recapping the last game. And the thing I heard as a general consensus among all the podcasters was the Sharks distorted them in the neutral zone. They made it very hard to enter the zone of speed, which, based on what I remember seeing in that game, I would agree with. I don't know how well my memory can be relied upon, because it was like 11 p.m. in the Eastern time zone, and I was sitting at a bar. So, but I tend to agree.
In terms of Paul Martin, though, I think it's contingent on if Joakim Ryan is gonna come back, or at least healthy to come back. Because you can get away with Paul Martin, but against Vegas, that's where the bigger issue is, because that's a speedy lineup that can play. That's a mixture of what the Ducks and Kings can offer. And I don't think Martin has been bad. I think he's allowed Burns to shoot the puck a lot more. You saw that in game 1, not as much in game 2, but at least in game 1, Burns was allowed to shoot the puck more. So yeah, I just don't buy that he's a healthy scratch. I think there's something going on with Ryan at this point.
I hope that it's because there's something wrong with Ryan, because honestly, Paul Martin has managed to not be a liability, but I don't want us to wait for him to be a liability.
Yeah. Jerry F in the chat saying, I agree, Martin looks really slow, and our success has been in spite of his play. I wouldn't necessarily say that necessary, but he has made some timely plays as well. At the same time, he was the one who took that penalty that led to the power play goal from Lindholm.
I'm not trying to dump on him. I'm just it's more like I think he can be fine in this series. It's just I'm worried about going beyond this, and especially going deep into the playoffs. I don't buy that the Sharks have enough everywhere else to make up for what the liability he might be.
And I thought that call that he got on the power play, got the Ducks on a power play, was extremely weak. I didn't think that was a worthy NHL penalty in the playoffs. That's something I thought they could have let slide. But again, you're talking about as a San Jose Sharks fan. Yeah.
Honestly, after tonight, I don't really know what's a penalty because of the sheer amount of cheap shots the Ducks took. Like, they were taking cheap shots all night long, and correct me if I'm wrong, like, this is based off of watching in a bar with no sound on, but holy crap, it seemed to me like they were headhunting, they were throwing up elbows, is it just me and my perception based off of watching there, or were the Ducks just getting away with a lot of crap?
I think there was a lot of Ducks players getting away with a lot of crap, and the referees early on were allowing it. And I think it got to the point where the referees kind of went, okay, wait a minute. We're not going to call everything, but we need to call something because this can get out of hand. Yes, it is the playoffs. Let's not forget that mindset. But
this is the playoffs, but it's not Disneyland, Ducks. You can't get away with anything you want. It's not all your dreams not come true. Right. Real quick, if you're new here, smash that subscribe button. Rafi Torres, that shit. It's right down below. Because I see we have 61 people watching at the moment. Awesome. Good to see you all.
Definitely. Thank you very much, Chris. And we're getting closer and closer to 700 subscribers. So please, if you haven't already, tell your friends. Click like on the video, like 10 people have already. Definitely, we do this after every game. We'll be here throughout the playoffs. But let's get back to it. Alex, what did you think of the Ducks' physical play tonight? And did you think they were after heads along with trying to get this series tied up?
I thought a lot of it depended on where the camera was. There were a couple of I saw Brody Brazil retweeting a couple of hits. And I thought, well, just that's the camera. I think it looks a lot gruesome if you just because it's placed there. The hits were roughly 20 San Jose, 24 the Ducks. So I felt the Sharks were even on that front. I thought it was an even play. I thought the physical play by the Sharks was actually surprisingly good. They mixed in some physical play on that end, but I just felt like the Ducks couldn't match the Sharks' speed and what they were trying to accomplish on that front. I think around the third period, maybe like late second period, you started to see 4 forwards jump into the action for the Ducks just because they were trying to get an odd man rush to compete with the Sharks' speed. So I think that was a major factor the first 2 games of the series.
Gotcha. As we head to the third period, was going back and forth. There were some calls, I thought, both ways that were missed. I thought there was a penalty that I think Timo was going to take, and then also I was kind of iffy on the one that Boschman kind of grabbed Timo a little bit, and Timo went to grab his face. I'm like, oh God, no, you don't play for the Canucks. Don't get all little embellishing a little bit there. But third period, I thought the Ducks were really coming on strong and were going nuts. But I thought Jones in the defense played a hell of an effort because the Ducks were coming on like nothing else. And I think even though the Sharks outshot them 13-11 in the third period, the same as they did in the second, I thought Ducks had way more quality scoring chances. Kevin.
Yeah, I was a little concerned with the Ducks. We've talked about it on the preview show and the 2 shows here on Thursday night and tonight about the Sharks need to hold their zone, and because the Ducks are going to bring the physicality and the cheap play, and so just let the Ducks be cheap. They'll find themselves in the box. So I thought that the Sharks held them off, fended it off very well. The game could have really gotten out of hand. I was talking with my new friend Kelly. Cheers, Kelly. About just how dirty this game was, and I missed game 1. I don't know if the level of I don't know, for lack of a better word, dirtiness matched game 1. I'd like to know your thoughts on that. But the Sharks pushed back, and that's what they need to do. Don't initiate, but push back. And I thought they played a solid third.
If I'll jump in here, since I don't want any awkward silences.
I think Eric didn't realize he was
I
mute.
didn't even realize I forgot I was mute, but go ahead.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I based off of my watching of both games, I think honestly, I would say it's 2-1 in terms of cheap play for the Ducks. Like, the Sharks have gotten away with a few, but the Ducks have gotten away with a lot of shit, if I'm being honest, in my opinion, my own biased opinion. And based off
that's what the Ducks do.
Yeah, it is a very Duckian thing to just be a total cheap shot artist, and not explicitly, but it was kind of confirmed based on listening to various Ducks podcasts today that they kind of admitted, like, yeah, the Ducks kind of deserve pretty much everything they've gotten in terms of the penalty box in game 1. And I think game 2 is no different, in my opinion, based off of my own eyes. But it's where the Sharks got to keep sticking to their game. And this is something I've said on this podcast 1,000 times. You don't beat X team by playing their game. When the Sharks tried to be like the Kings or be like the Ducks or whatever, keep playing your game. Like, they're trying to do this physicality, and they're trying to get you, they're trying to get in your heads. Take the punishment. You don't have to be a wimp, but you can take the punishment and keep on going because, again, the best revenge is winning. You know what? They'll be like, oh, but we got more hits. Yeah, you lost a series and no one gives a shit. Bye. History does not care who got the most hits.
Right. Good call.
And we'll throw this around as I believe we have an invasion of Mr. Strong joining us as well. The Corey Perry hit on Melker Carlson. It was shoulder to shoulder. Let's be very clear about that. That's why I think you see only the 2-minute interference call. And as I'll pull up the GIF here in a sec, Alex, I'll start with you. What did you think of that move? And at that time, I thought, holy crap! Or what are you as a opposing fan say? What are you doing?
Yeah, it definitely seemed like a questionable play. Taking a penalty with, I think there was about 3 minutes left. So if you kill the penalty, you're down to 1 minute and some change. Definitely just not a smart play. Even though you're trying to be a physical team, trying to be a decent, you're just trying to get to the puck as fast as you can. I thought even like the intent might not have been. I thought the intent definitely was worth a suspension worthy, just because Carlson was not really playing the puck. He was near the boards, but he was not really playing the puck. And he definitely was trying to level him to the ice. And I think that's something where if the NHL doesn't want that to be, throughout all the other games in the playoffs, they might want to send a warning shot just because it was so out of play for what was going on.
And it was so late. I assume we're talking about the same one. I'm waiting for Puck Guy to put the GIF up on the screen here. Yeah. But if we're thinking of the same one here, it was so late after the play. Like it was just inexcusable. Like I couldn't believe watching him like get so angry in the penalty box. Like I can't believe that's a penalty.
Yeah,
no, dude. I'm sorry, dude. You kind of earned that one, especially with the way y'all been thugging all night and not gotten called for shit. So for every. Okay, there we go. So, Puck Guy, if you haven't already focused the camera on you. So, I mean, yeah, look at that. Because, yeah, it wasn't the location that was as dirty as anything. Location. It was just how, like, that he's not close enough to the play and it's far enough out. Like, there's just no way you can justify that hit.
Dude,
so,
it was
complaining
like
about that
from NHL 2000 or something where there's no such thing as interference. So, you just go for the biggest interference you possibly can and the helmet goes flying. Like it was so brutal.
You ever seen the Hercules check in I think it was NHL 14 where you can throw the guy into the stands?
Yeah, I've done that a couple
you
times.
do the nice little hip check there and like he goes flying into the crowd and then man just slide out the boards again. But yeah, no, there is no way that you can complain about that. I'm sorry. There's just that is such a cheap shot. That's not kosher, and he can't complain about that. I mean, the right team won tonight. Yeah. It was a lot closer than game one, but the correct team won. The Sharks played a much better game. They got more pressure. They got more zone time. And actually, tonight, hits were a lot more even. Surprising for how much possession the Sharks had.
Yeah.
Hits were a lot more even. But then again, hits are, and this is one of the things I hate, is such a subjective stat because what one statistician calls a hit is not called a hit by the next statistician. So that's beyond the fact that possession distorts that. There's also the fact that one statistician to the next, it's never consistent.
I found the first period hit on the bank in Sorenson. I think they were both by Corey Perry also. My memory serves me right.
I believe it was.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull.
I mean, that little blonde asshole had more than one cheap shot.
Hey.
I can't. Wait. Are we so PC on here now? I can't call him a little blonde asshole.
I think we got two per show, and you've used all of them. But no, I thought when Sorenson got knocked to the ice and collided with LeBanc, and of course you have the puck hitting LeBanc in the back of the head. That was
bad.
Yeah, I thought that was bad, and I thought combined today, I thought that was a suspension worthy, just the way Corey Perry was playing. But do I think the NHL is going to do anything? Probably not.
And honestly, don't forget, like I've watched a few other matchups. They've been letting a lot of stuff go. It's not just the Ducks that are thugging it
Oh
up.
no,
honestly.
no.
There have been a lot of other playoff matchups where there's been some thugging it up. By the way, we're at almost 70 live viewers right now. Once
Thank
again, Rafi Torres, that subscribe button down there.
Yep.
Dang.
Smash that like button and whatever, and cheers.
Dude, cheers. Yeah, after the hit on Carlson, my first thought was, where's Rafi Torres? Where is Rafi Torres right now? I hated thinking like that, but it was to that point because I was just going mad. And did you guys hear Randy Hahn after the game?
Yes.
Like, dude, total burn. Corey Perry stopped by Martin Jones at the end of the game, and he probably cost his team the win too with that stupid penalty. Way to go, Randy!
Nice.
You can tell, and thank you for NBC for doing this. You know, the previous few years and before, I think last year they started doing it. The previous few years, it would be a simulcast of the NBC Sports broadcast or CSN or whatever it is. So you got the quote unquote national Randy. You're seeing a little bit, and I think it might happen to be because it's a Southern California rival that you see just that slight hint of homerism, which Randy never shows. So kudos to that because he's one of the best in the business. Sorry,
I don't think Randy was on the national broadcast though.
No, he wasn't.
No, he was not.
No. But this year and last year, he hasn't been because NBC's been bringing in broadcasters. But before then, he's been doing it nationally.
Yeah. Randy's been a straight up pro. By the way, request from the chat. I'm trying to find it here because it just slipped by me. But someone, I forget it was, someone needs to bring up the power play or something so AJ can jump in here.
Yes.
Or I think it was exactly someone needs to bring up whatever it is so AJ can come on. I'm sorry, I already went to the San Fernando Valley today, in and out, and I don't need any more of that coming on.
Power play was 1 for 3, so it's back-to-back games with a power play goal. That's pretty decent in the playoffs.
No drum to beat on that matter. Is there anything else?
It's not 1 for 6 like game 1.
Mr.
Yes.
Strong, are you there? Are you
AJ?
AJ, are you okay? Are you okay, AJ?
He might be DJing.
I was just auditing.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
just making sure.
The big
You're
boss
good.
is here. Okay, yeah, you can go ahead and mute up because we can hear all the traffic around you or whatever that is.
Well, he's walking across the street is what he's doing, so it's okay.
Well, all good. We were just making sure you're all right.
That was your AJ minute.
That was your AJ minute
In
presented.
an AJ minute, everything can change.
This AJ.
Yeah, hold on though. Can I say one thing though?
Go for it.
No,
The thing that really
I said no.
Just F you. Just to touch on the Melker, the hit from Perry on Carlson. The fact, I mean, notwithstanding everything you guys said and what Randy Hahn said and everything, the fact that a Ducks fan hit me up on Twitter saying Carlson flopped on that.
Oh no!
And I'm like, dude, it like hits you at that speed when you're not moving, and it's so jarring that it knocks your helmet off. That's a flop.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, good luck selling that one, pal.
I'll say that must be the same fan that thought that Tommy Wingles saw the Nazem Kadri hit coming in.
Yeah, this has been a spectacular year so far for fans on Twitter who think slow motion is real life. Like, I think they, is like the Dave Chappelle thing. Everything looks better in slow motion. Like that's like real life doesn't exist in slow motion, bro.
Yeah. Joshua Zalk, as we go into the chat a little bit here, Brendan Burke, who's the Islanders announcer, is the NBCSN announcer for the Sharks Ducks series. I thought he was pretty solid. He's been pretty solid. I listened to that broadcast as well. I really like Brendan Burke and what he's done with the Islanders. Joining him,
yeah, me too.
was Mike Johnson. Yeah, exactly, Kevin. I mean, he's been pretty solid. Mike Johnson, who did a number of years with TSN.
Love Mike Johnson.
And did some with Sportsnet. In fact, he was a guy who I think called the Western Final for the Sharks and Blues. He's always been solid, so it's always nice to have.
So
Go ahead, Kevin.
from the chat here real quick, Carlson flopped. What is this? Dwayne Rollison's loose mask again?
Oh God! Don't get me started with that. Don't get me started with that.
By the way, if the easiest way to get on your comment on here on the chat is to at one of us, because the chat goes by very fast here. Yeah. So
chat's moving pretty fast tonight.
And I see we have almost 70. So if you're new here, Rafi Torres, that subscribe button. That's Marion Gabrick's head, or not Marion Gabrick, Marion Hosa's head.
Oh,
your mouse is Rafi Torres.
And also you can hit us on Twitter, just like Chester Chivo did. Oh, Chivo.
Do we got a good photo? Do we got epic?
Oh man,
we have an epic Photoshop.
Yeah, we have an epic Photoshop.
Okay, we have an epic Photoshop. You get that shit loaded while I will stall. I will drag it out as you click, and get that up on here.
Yes.
For those who are not familiar with Chester Chivo, he is our resident Photoshop master, going back many years on this show. And okay, there we are.
Make sure you come to Game 3 on Monday. First 14 fans in attendance. Get the Chia Puckeye 14 already has.
Yes.
Oh, you know what, Chivo?
Could not do me as a Chia pet because obviously I don't grow hair.
oh no.
Chivo, that is awesome. I freaking love that.
Fantastic.
Hey, Chris, maybe you just need to water it a little more.
Yeah. Oh. Or you watered it too much.
I'm sorry. Psh, AJ. Psh, what? Psh, I couldn't hear you. Psh.
Oh my God. Jeez. Let's see. What did you put up for the?
I put up the.
Oh yes.
It's good.
I was going to say real quick about Mike Johnson. I'm actually glad that he's doing this series, just because he said Timo Meier rare Mike Johnson flub up, by the way, but at the trade deadline, he said Timo Meier hadn't done anything for the Sharks this year. I'm like, he scored 20 goals.
Yeah, so, really. That's crazy. Here's the
why not 30?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, if he hadn't got off to an awful start, I mean, jeez.
Wait a minute. Somebody pointed out that somebody didn't do something for the Sharks, and it wasn't pronounced Mikkel Bodker?
That's true. That's true. That is very true. Here's the tweet that we were referencing earlier, as mentioned by Dave Lozo. It's just craziness. Come on now.
So good.
I know, right? Let's see.
That's so hot.
Let's see here. Call of the night, Hedekin with dangleitis. Yes. Yeah, craziness. Sleepy Mofo, 15 goals, AJ. Quit being a hater. I guess that's regards to Bodker. Timo almost scored as much as Marleau last year. Close, but not quite there.
Yeah, but remember, Marleau got 4 of those versus Colorado.
That's true. So, definitely let's. So, overall thoughts tonight, guys. Kevin, I'll start with you. What do you take from this game this evening?
I'm going to be really happy going into Game 3, which I am attending on Monday night. Way to really just. You want to talk about seizing home ice advantage? I said on Thursday, Game 1, yeah, I guess statistically it matters, but it really doesn't matter if you lose Game 2, because then your opponent is taking momentum into your building. But Anaheim's got no momentum going right now. So keep this up, Sharks. Way to go.
Alex?
2-0 lead heading into 2 games at home. Let's not repeat the reverse sweep that happened against us. Let's just.
How dare you mention that?
I'm going to mention that because it's on everyone's mind.
Yeah.
So, frankly, I think we could have a number of sweeps in the first round of the NHL playoffs. And I think this is going to be one of them. It looks like the Ducks are just too injured. Gibson is playing fantastic, but I just think that the Ducks just do not have enough defenseman depth. And I think that's a key difference right now.
Chris, your overall thoughts on tonight?
Once again, these guys have stolen my thoughts. They have looked at my non-existent notes. But to repeat the words of the famous AJ, let's not start shucking each other's corn stalks just yet. Let's not start peeling each other's bananas just yet. I am avoiding the swear jar, damn it. But I tend to agree with teams have come back from a 2-0 deficit, let alone the 3-0 deficit that we shall not speak of. That shit is like Voldemort. Fuck you both for saying it.
There goes a swear jar.
Oh, damn it. I broke the swear jar. Okay. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's good. It is, when the Sharks do good, it's good, but it's not over yet. And it's a good start. And if the Sharks win 1 of 2 at home, they're ready to take the series. And I think they will, because it looks very promising right now. They've outpaced the Ducks. All the Ducks have had has been thuggery. Like, they haven't gotten much else going for them. Like, I haven't felt that threatened. Even when it was 3-2, I never thought, I think the Ducks are really back in this. The Sharks had control all night long, and they kept it, and I think they're going to win the series probably in 5 games.
All right. Kevin, overall for tonight's NHL San Jose matchup?
Wait, what? You already went to me.
Oh, never mind. So that for me,
Eric, he's the one with the wine, man. Come on, what the hell?
I know who spiked my water. Dang it! What the hell? So with that overall tonight, here are your stats. Sharks outshot the Ducks 35-30. Faceoffs, they were at one time completely dominated by Anaheim. The Sharks end up on top 51-49. Both teams each got a power play goal in this one. 1 for 3 for the Sharks, 1 for 2 for the Ducks. Sharks are now 2 for 9 on the power play, so not too bad so far, and really set the tone both games, I think, with their power play goals. Hits were pretty close to being even, 24-20 in favor of Anaheim. Both teams pretty much close with a block shot, 16-15. Ducks had nearly twice as many giveaways as the Sharks at 13-7. Logan Couture goal and assist tonight. Sorenson with the goal, Hertl with the goal. LeBanc, Melker, and Bodker each getting an assist, along with Dilly, Brendan Dillon himself. Dylan DeMello held to just 8:59 of ice time tonight, which I found very interesting, along with Eric Fair at 8:52 and Marcus Sorensen at 7:36 were the only 3 Sharks who had under 10 minutes of ice time this evening. For the Ducks, Getzlaff and Kessler, along with Hampus Lindholm, each were the assist holders tonight. Lindholm and Silverberg were the goal scorers. The 3 stars, according to NHL.com, was number 3, Tomas Hertl, number 2, Hampus Lindholm for the Ducks, Logan Couture with the top, with the number 1 star of the night for the Sharks, as the Sharks win this series, or wishful thinking there, win this game.
Whoa, don't jinx it there, Cowboy.
Yeah, 3-2. They go up in the series 2-0 with, and they have game 3 on Monday. Make sure you get there early. We have the street rally. You will see the fancy LED bracelets along with the beautiful duck hunt rally towel that you've seen this evening, or actually earlier this week, for that matter. Jonathan Becker.
I believe that's a free for all, right? So if a out of towner like myself shows up, I might wander through there.
I would think so. You can. It's a free for all. You don't have to have a ticket. Just go on in, say hi. I think you get checked there. Just make sure you're being civil and such. The usual stuff, I believe. If you checked out the special podcast that we had with Doug Bentz, head of marketing and digital with the San Jose Sharks, AJ had that. He kind of went over a lot of the things that they are going to have tonight, or on Monday and Wednesday.
Are they going to do bracelets again? Because that was amazing. I
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
want to put
that those intros with good bracelets, that looks absolutely sick when well done.
I kind of want to put batteries in my bracelet and just take it to the game on Monday, even if they don't even use them.
You know what? It will work. If it's anything like last year, I put mine on tonight just for example, but I'm pretty sure they work. So
that's awesome.
Those batteries aren't cheap though, but definitely check it out. So,
and that's where I also say, like, if you see one of us at the street rally, come say hi. We don't bite. We're very nice.
Yeah.
Because actually we love it. Like when people come up to us and tell us like, hey, we recognize you. That's awesome. Because
it's super flattering.
We do this every post game. So hit that subscribe button. Now, once again, I'm plugging, but you know how it goes.
I wish I knew about the bracelets though, because I had 3 or 4 from the 2015 run, and I just threw them. I just threw them out because
2016.
Yeah.
Oh, fail.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah. Oh, that's not good.
Before we get to the wraparound, I see AJ is in his lovely. No, you're just auditing.
You're gonna reach over to AJ before we hit the wraparound.
No, he's enjoying auditing. So I'll cheers to you, bud.
Puck Eye's just reaching out, but so let's get to the wrap around.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Chris.
Should I be sitting here going?
No, that's. Oh, that's gonna sound lovely on the podcast, audio only.
Jeez.
Oh my god.
Hey, this show's nothing without inside jokes.
That's true.
But for those of you listening on the delayed podcasts on Twitter,
we are sincerely sorry.
Twitch, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, or Stitcher. I don't know.
Stitcher,
like
yes.
If you're listening on any podcast platform, I have one thing to say to you.
Oh my god. And with that, to start the hockey wraparound, our Barracuda know-it-all, Mr. Kevin Lacey, will talk about the fate of the San Jose Barracuda and their potential spot in the Calder Cup playoffs.
If you go back to March, when was it? March 10th and 11th, I did Barracuda After Dark. And I said on both shows, it would take the ultimate miracle for the San Jose Barracuda to make the playoffs. And what did they do? They lost 6 of their next 8 games, meaning they would need the ultimate, ultra, amazing, incredible, stupendous miracle to make the playoffs
with a cherry on top. So can you explain this, please? Because I thought, for all intents and purposes, they were dead.
2 weeks ago, they were in last place. They did have a record over 500 for points percentage, but they were in last place in the division. And they won their final 6 games, and San Diego lost 6 of their last 7, and San Antonio kind of faltered, and just, oh my goodness. So here we were going into the games tonight. If San Diego got 1 point, they make the playoffs. If they didn't get any points, the winner of the San Jose Stockton game this evening would make the playoffs. And sure enough,
anybody else reminded of the San Francisco Giants in 2010?
Yeah, this does sound awfully familiar. Like I've heard this story before, but I guess this means when I get back home, oddly enough, this will probably get the goals missing the playoffs will probably get more talk than the Sharks get on local talk radio.
Oh, totally. But man, just tonight. Alex True with 2 goals for the Barracuda in the second period to single-handedly beat the Stockton Heat 2-1, which just went final on the AHL's broken website, but the game ended 3.5 hours ago. And then the Tucson Roadrunners had to win both games last night and tonight over the San Diego Gulls in regulation. And they did, even though the Roadrunners were up 3-0 tonight and blew the lead, but they managed to win 6-3. So the Gulls are out, the Heat are out, and the San Jose Barracuda, who spent half the year with 2 lines of ECHL tryout players, are going to the playoffs. And a big part of it is Sasha Smilevsky and Ivan Shakovic, because those two prospects came in out of juniors when their seasons ended, and wow, they've been a difference. Shakovic has 9 points in 6 games, and he has a point in every game since he debuted for the team. Like, it's incredible.
So, do you honestly think they deserve to be in there? 1, and 2, do they stand a chance?
No and no.
Okay,
no,
then.
Really, no. But the one thing you can point to is, hey, the game 2 weeks ago or a week ago or whenever it was against Tucson, the Barracuda won. I think that one was 4-2, and they played very well against Tucson. So that's something you can look at and say, hey, they got a shot. Plus, the Barracuda start at home because it's a best of 5 series in round 1, where the underdog team starts the first 2 games at home, and then the series transitions to the favorite team. So if they can steal these 2 games in San Jose, they definitely have that shot.
It's the playoffs, and pretty much anything for hockey playoffs, especially, anything can happen in that.
So, pointed out in the chat that Sasha
Smilevsky,
yeah, I can't pronounce this shit. That's a weird Russian name. Is from Huntington Beach.
I was about to say,
I passed by Huntington Beach on my way up here, so yeah, I know about where that is. Credit to Benjamin Kessel. Wow, I would not have expected that based off of that last name.
So we have our new Matt Nieto. Sasha Shimlevsky is from Huntington Beach.
Rocket will have to work on a way to say that in a sexy voice.
Yes.
But we should, it's probably about the time for us to reach around the NHL, shall we?
It's the wraparound, and let's get you caught up on the Stanley Cup playoffs on this day, Saturday, April 14th in Nashville. The Predators go up 2-0 on the Colorado Avalanche with a 5-4 victory over the Avs. Ryan Hartman gets essentially the game-winning goal with 1:09 left to win the game for the Predators. Johansson, Arvidsson, Fiala, Watson all get goals for the Preds. McKinnon and Landeskog both get their first goals of the playoffs as the Preds go up 2-0 on the Avalanche. In Tampa, the Lightning go up 2-0 in their series as they beat the Devils 5-3. Braden Point with the goal. Killorn.
You could say they blitzkrieged them
with a bop. Yeah.
Don't make me whip out the computer to start doing sound effects.
Yeah, we need like some like thunder and lightning sound effects here.
That's
and
right.
by the way, Laurel, I am not sleepy. I am just tired.
Yes.
Drunk.
Speak for yourself, drunk.
Andre Vasilevsky with the victory there for the Lightning as they go up 2-0 on the Devils. In Boston, no Nazem Kadri, and boy, oh boy, was that painful to watch as the Leafs go down 0-2 to the Bruins, 7-3, including the Bruins' 4-goal first period that eventually saw David Pastrnak get a hat trick in that game as the Bruins go up 2-0 as they head to Toronto. Of course, you know about the Sharks winning 3-2. They're up 2-0. In tomorrow's action, you have, NBC's favorite, Penguins Flyers. It's the game we wish we could cover every night. That's at noon. At 4 p.m. on USA, it's the Jets and Wild as the Jets try to go up 3-0 on Minnesota. At 4:30 on NBCSN, it's the Capitals and Jackets. That's game 2. And then the nightcap on NBCSN at 7:30. Well, let's make it some more 7:45-ish. Will be the Golden Knights and Kings as the Kings try to get back into that series. And it would be nice if the Kings were to get a victory. And
no.
You want the Golden Knights to go up 3-0 in the series?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I think by the Kings losing the 2 overtime game, I thought that was a series.
I'm okay with infinite overtimes, but I'm sorry, the Kings. I would like to see them writhe in pain and die. So
I'm not to that extreme, but I get what you're going for.
I'm talking metaphorically in the sports world.
Are you sure you're talking metaphorically, or do you mean?
I'm talking in metaphors. Anze Kopitar dives in dumpsters behind McDonald's. So,
oh jeez.
Two things in the chat. Chester Chivo says the Sharks game Monday will be on C-SPAN. I believe that's a fact.
Yes.
And Robin Malloy, please explain. David Pasternak, who has scored an incredible goal for Boston, broke Wayne Gretzky's record. What record?
Yeah,
I'm not sure which record that it was.
In regards
to answer Nick, yes.
Yeah,
but in regards to the Boston-Toronto series, I saw a lot of people talking about how this is an indictment against Marleau, against how he can never finish in the playoffs.
Wait, who is somebody?
Just a lot of people, just the Toronto Maple Leafs fans, and how they're all of a sudden turning on the team, which is expected because it's a Canadian Hockey League team, but it seems like they're kind of targeting Marleau because he was the off-season player they got.
Yeah, it's not like there's 20 other guys on the bench or anything.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
I'm sorry, I haven't heard anyone say anything like that, but if they do, they're fucking idiots. So.
And the funny thing too is that Stan Fischler, who's very well known on MSG over in New York, was very critical of Mike Babcock in his coaching. He had an interesting tweet tonight that I got to pull up, but it caught some attention from many people. So
do tell.
I'm trying to.
If you're looking for it, so I have a little story from my time in Toronto. But when I was in Toronto last week, we had one of many company meetups to get beverages, shall we say. And someone was late to one of these meetings because he's a huge Leaf fan and he was at his hotel, and Mike Babcock comes in and grabs a beer at the bar, and he just sits there fanboying, admiring him, and didn't have the stones to go up to him and say, hey, I'm a huge fan of your Leafs and stuff. But yes, true story. Mike Babcock came in, had a single beer. He didn't come up to him and say anything. Mike Babcock left. So do we have the tweet, Buckeye?
Yes, we do. This is from Stan Fischler earlier tonight. If Mike Babcock is such a high-priced coach because he's supposedly so good, I'd want to see him coach the Leafs to a win. Otherwise, he's not that good, period.
I do think that I'm not going to say Babcock's overrated because I do think Babcock is a great coach, but I do find it funny that Mike Babcock has only had success with completely star-laden teams, the Olympic team for Canada and the Detroit Red Wings, who had a gazillion Hall of Famers on their team.
Yeah.
He hasn't proven anything with a roster like what Toronto has.
That's true.
So,
you know, like, I guess had we during Marleau's tenure, I guess, has he received enough blame or enough credit for his playoff record, or has it always been the coach is the fall guy?
I don't know. I think
it's been both. I mean, like, there's been coaches fired. He's gotten blamed. I mean, he obviously owns his share, but it's again, Stanley Cups are won by teams. They are not won by one player, period.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see.
Can I just make one observation here?
Absolutely, sir.
Has the panel and or the audience given their due respect for the return of the angry tree this evening?
Oh, do we have it's the return of the angry AJ tree?
Yes, it is, folks. There you go.
Oh, we have a celebrity on tonight. I mean, should we even explain? Because if you don't know, you need to go
2 for
watch.
9 on the power play.
You need to go watch older episodes if you don't know.
This is all I'm saying. And also, Alex, that's a horrible looking jacket.
I was
right back at you.
Wow, just throwing shade, AJ.
Oh, but he's got the same jacket on. Oh my god,
It's a horrible looking jacket.
I thought it was like Shay J Strong or
Oh God! If I look like you in 5 years, I'm gonna kill myself.
Wow. Hey, maybe in 5 years you'll get a decent background.
Wow.
Here I was
Strong.
thinking, man,
coming
I kind
on
of like that
tonight.
jacket. I want to get one, but then I see AJ's got one now too, and I'm like, pass.
Oh, wow. All right. And with that, let's check on the chat. See
Well,
how
I'm sorry
everybody's-
this doesn't come in turtleneck version.
Oh, geez. What episode? It's during the 2015-16 season, when once known as Pucknology After Dark. It's
There's this show that like stole our thunder.
whatever.
They were called Pucknology After Dark.
Oh my.
We are Tilton After Dark, who, whatever they are, they're their thing. But there was this character, this tree that angrily ranted about power plays and stuff. I've heard such things.
And just to address the chat, now that we're easily an hour into this, it's playoffs, so we're allowed to go off the rails.
Yes, big time. You know what? Like Hertl always says, fun must be always. Jimmy T, update on Thornton. He took the warm up again tonight. No,
Which I still think is a thing just to get into Carlisle's head.
It's a pure head game at this point.
The one thing that me and Hockey Jerk mentioned prior to game one during the warm-ups is the captaincies of sorts. I believe it's a rule that you can only have one captain and two assistant captains for a game.
That is correct. It is a rule.
So, and Thornton has an A on his jersey, and also Burns has an A on his jersey as a fill-in for Thornton. So I would think if you don't see Burnsy with an A on his jersey, that should be your telltale sign that Jumbo's going.
Couldn't they, in theory, swap right before the game? I guess it depends on the exact specific specifications of the specified rule.
It wouldn't be surprised if they have a jersey ready to go for Burnsy or Jumbo to swap out.
Yeah,
like psych.
Right. Go ahead, AJ. You were going to say something.
No, I was just addressing.
Oh, hi, Kitty.
Yes, I was addressing Laurel's request in the chat. That's all.
Gotcha. There
She
you
said,
go.
Give some love to Kayla. So,
All right.
of course, we always do.
Love it.
Yes. Chat, what do you got for us tonight? I saw some others. I think 4 Paws Up for Hockey was asking where they can get the growth mix for my beard. Apparently, again, Chester Chivo has the solution. It's the Chia Putt Guy beard.
Let me
give away to the
mix is just AOL internet.
Let me just ask a question here.
Do you need me to zoom in or something? Go ahead.
No. I
Just a speculative question.
I saw the. Oh, please zoom back out. But I saw it on my phone on the way back. I mean, colossal Photoshop job.
It's amazing.
By Chivo, as always. But I do want to know, did it like say on the box like a little star, like that where they always have like the fine print at the bottom that says like upper lip not included?
Hey, the upper lip actually is coming in a little bit. So
yeah, sure. Keep telling yourself that.
Give it another
Lacey.
2 months, it will like have a thing going on there.
Dude, you need to like start growing the upper lip like at the beginning of the regular season, and then maybe it'll fall in line by the playoffs.
There you go.
Yeah, see, at the
Technicalities
bottom,
in the playoff beard thing, right?
Gotta say upper lip not included.
Oh man.
Yes.
So there you go. Make sure you come to Game 3 on Monday. The first 14 fans in attendance. That's right, only 14. Get the Chia Puck Guy that already has the grow seeds planted.
With
If you want to do your tickets with AOL with the code AOL98
with bonus chin dimple.
AOL 90, yeah.
Or
comes with a free 30 hours of AOL.
I think you mean 30,000 hours.
Yes. Yes. The funny thing about the dimple in the chin is when I worked at Safeway,
you would smuggle fruit out in that?
No, totally. No, I actually had a customer with the kid, and the kid went up to the mother and said, "Hey, Mom, what's with the dent in his chin?"
Oh.
So with that, I will begin final thoughts with you, Mr. Chris JWS, and where the people can find you. on the social media.
If you like shitty tweets, you can follow me at ChrisJWS. I tweet just terrible and not interesting things, but occasionally funny, I guess. My final thought is Sharks are gonna get spot, but let's not start peeling each other's bananas just now. Let's see what happens, and we're good.
Hold on, I just realized that I got to go put on my 25th anniversary shirt. I'll be right back.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. I don't care how much I put into
who's running over the swear
you.
jar now? Who's running over the swear jar now?
You know what would be funny is if AJ had an Alex Martinet jersey with his name on the back. That would be.
You could bet if
Niemi
wins the playoff series.
Yeah, I just need to wear a Niemi jersey. What are you talking about?
All right. Well, AJ, since you're here, your final thoughts on where the people can find you.
Final thoughts. Continue to play your game despite the officiating. Continue to let Corey Perry lose his mind and continue to get under. Hi, Puckma. Continue to get under the skin of Montour, get under the skin of who am I forgetting? It was Perry, Montour, and there's another guy. Who
Kessler.
am I? Kessler. And then even tonight for a scotch of time, BX.
-3.
You can take the boys out of Vancouver, but you can't take the Vancouver out of the boys. So keep getting into those into the heads of those guys and keep frustrating them because they'll continue to take dumbass penalties. And with that, AJ_strong on the Twitter, on the Instagram. Give me a follow. Also doing Gramming for Teal Town USA. And look forward to a fun interview tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to be able to do it live on here, but we are expecting tentatively to have Jamie Baker on tomorrow evening. So look out for that. And the best way to do that is to smash that subscribe button and make sure you hit the little bell so you get a notification when we go live.
Yeah.
Definitely. Mr. Martinet, your final thoughts on where the people can find you. And by the way, yes, the special appearance of Puck Mom on here as well. But go ahead, Mr. Martinet, your final thoughts.
Number one, I am not AJ's son. Just want to clarify that.
Oh, wait.
When it comes to
23 and me will come in very soon. We will know.
Next week,
Redheaded stepchild.
Coming up next week on Teal Town Maury edition, when it comes to 20-something-year-old Alex Martinet, AJ.
You are not the father.
Jerry.
All right, Alex, go ahead.
Great overall game. It's a 2-0 lead. I'm not going to complain about that. I'm not going to say anything negative. Jones was fantastic once again. 2 games in a row. I thought entering the series, I thought Jones was getting a little bit tired, but looks like that was just playoff stretch, not really concentrating. So it's good to see that they actually can turn on a switch and play hockey. And I was pleasantly surprised with Timo. Back-to-back great games. He's been a little bit inconsistent this season, but yeah, that's been the story so far. Those 2 players showing up.
In your Twitter?
Oh yeah. You can find me at Twitter at AJ Strong.
Wait, what?
Hold on. I was seeing if I could get Kayla close enough to the mic so you could hear the purr. Hold on. Do you hear it?
Nice.
Hold on. Quiet for a second. Just listen. She's good on mic.
Sounds like the Florida Panthers right now.
But seriously,
ouch.
But seriously, you can find me at Twitter at Al Martinet, doing a bunch of stuff for the Spartan Daily, and I talk hockey. So follow me over there.
Is it me or is it, I just find it funny that both AJ and Alex are now suddenly petting their pets.
Oh, he copies it.
AJ's like a shitty Teal Dr. Claw.
And with your final thoughts, Mr. Kevin Lacey, doubly happy for sure, I would believe.
Yeah, I hate champagne, which is why I'm drinking the wine this evening. But But yeah, it was definitely a celebration here in San Jose for hockey. The Sharks win, the Barracuda make the playoffs. We'll see you next year for the San Jose Barracuda. No, we'll see it next week for the San Jose Barracuda. They're in the playoffs. Apparently, the playoff hashtag for the Sharks obviously is playoff mode on. For the Barracuda, it is not done yet.
Yep.
I'm at Kevin Lacey 22, and thank you for having me on. I will be at the game on Monday night. I don't even remember what section I'm in, but it's probably somewhere around 211. So please say hi if you see me walking around the concourse.
Can I ask you a question about the Barracuda, though? Will they be coming out in Barracuda jerseys for the next one, or are they just going to go straight Allen American jerseys?
Half and half.
Right. And again, congrats to the Barracuda. While we're talking about this, we will probably have some more Barracuda coverage as they roll on. The schedule for the Barracuda does come out tomorrow morning. I believe I saw it at 10 a.m. So be prepared for that. That's when tickets go on sale.
And there better not be one goddamn doubleheader.
Oh my God.
It is very likely that it would be Friday, well, I don't know what the building schedule is, but it'd probably be something like Friday, Saturday in San Jose, and then the following weekend would be 3 games in Tucson, obviously, if necessary.
Hey, now we need an excuse if the Sharks blow this.
Well, there you go. What the funny thing also is, for the longest time, the San Diego Gulls had a pinned tweet about getting their playoff tickets. That quickly went away in the middle of the third period earlier tonight.
Whoops.
So, I'm PuckGuy14 on Twitter and the Instagram. I, too, will be at Game 3 and 4, so we'll be on the lookout for that. In case you missed anything, you want to watch this again, check us out on tealtownusa.com or your favorite podcatcher, whether it's iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, and the YouTube. Make sure you hit that YouTube button. We would love to get to 700 subscribers before Game 3. And folks, it's time to get your teal on. It's time to get loud, and it's time to rest your voice tomorrow. Because we need you all to get crazy when the Sharks come out and Sharks hopefully go up 3-0 on Monday night. And speaking of Monday night, that's when we'll be back with you following the Sharks and Ducks for Game 3 of this Western Conference first round series. It should be a good one to, on Monday. So check us out there. Of course, chat, thank you so much. Are you allowed to wear your jersey at work? Well, since work won't allow me to be at work, yeah, sure, of course.
We did that at work. The big boss said every Friday we get to wear our Sharks jerseys for as long as they're in the playoffs.
It's like Teal Friday. It's like Stir Friday, except for without food.
Yeah.
And when you work from home, every day is Jersey Friday.
Damn right.
Yeah.
So on behalf of everyone here at Teal Town USA, you have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe out there and keep it real. Keep it teal. Keep it real teal. We will see you Monday after the Sharks and Ducks in Game 3.